All right. Hello everybody. We'd like to welcome y'all here to another edition of the Alex Prime Bar broadcast bar. Of course, I am Alex Prime and I'm joined up here with Sean. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing very good. It's good to be on this podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, today it's a pretty special edition as we will be talking exclusively about Double X. As you see right here, we are in the Double X server owned by our good friend Mark. But Sean, I think we got quite a bit to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about, especially with how Double X has been going on and how Double A is now back in motion again after a long hiatus.
Yep. Um. So, firstly, Sean, we are going to just discuss about the point situation that we'll be going into into the next race y'all have at Denver. So if we actually go ahead and take a look right here at the point standings right here for Double X, as you can see, Noah has taken the points lead away from Mark, but it's only by about I think about only 9 points.
9 points. That's and here's the thing: Mark actually had the points lead going all the way back from Canadian Tire and the All Star race. He had the points lead. It was, but Noah has now become a new challenger. It's really interesting to see, and he entered back into Darlington only 11 points out, and it was a poor finish on the part of Mark
Mm-hmm.
that got Noah
Yeah,
to the
to the points lead.
to the points lead.
Yeah. So because actually, if we look back right here at the Darlington results, I mean, where we see Noah finish, you see he finished in the top 15th and 11th. So, do you actually think Noah could actually hold the points lead?
I don't know. This is like our fourth different driver to hold the points lead. I think, or fifth. I don't know. Ever since the start of the season, it is basically, well, actually more since after uh the race at Pocono, the points lead's been switching around a bit. It went from because Trey had the points lead for a long time. Then Sean took the points lead. Then Mark took the points lead. Now it's Noah who has the points lead.
Yeah. So definitely, I definitely say that the battle right here for the points lead is definitely going to be pretty interesting to watch. But as we at the, I think we're nearing like halfway through the season, so
But I
um,
believe, I believe actually we're more past halfway because we're on the stretch now of getting towards our last few races.
yeah.
We're not there yet, but we're starting to get towards that stretch.
Hmm. But I actually do want to bring this up though, Sean. How do you think the next races are going to go points wise? Like, who do you think might be one of our top contenders for the title?
Well, let's just look at the next four races here. You start off by going to Denver. Here's the thing: that track acts like a super speedway, but it's very low banking.
Hmm.
So it's always interesting to see how everything's going to through that.
Yeah.
Then you go to Texas. Texas always been a good track for double Eds. It's going to provide the same good action that's done in the past. But then you go to the next two races after that, Talladega and Coca Cola.
Hmm.
Those are going to be wild cards. So points could switch like a dime.
Yeah, I definitely would say that. But I think I know that we have like some double X viewers that could be watching from the AlexPrime Bar YouTube channel, but I say there's a little bit of a secret that we might be hiding for season 9. I'm not going to say much, but we're saying it's gonna be something big.
There is something in the works, but it's best to right now keep things under wraps.
Yeah,
It,
cause mm, yeah, Go.
It's something that when you hear something's changing, if you tell people early, they're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, but don't you all worry watching from my YouTube channel. Of course, we'll actually do another a exclusive Double X video, but that'll be right after season 8. So if you want to see how the season will go, just make sure to subscribe to Mark and Sean's Games Corner, where you can be able to watch Double X throughout the entire season.
It's always it's always fun to do those races though, and hopefully everyone, if you were watching this channel, you've seen the races over there. Hopefully you've been enjoying them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Mark and Sean have been doing this for like quite some time now. I think you've been doing it for like 5 to 6 years now.
Uh, about 5 years or so. And with each season that comes on by, it's just another fun, exciting time for everyone. So
Yeah. So, I also would also like to bring up that of course, we got the return of Double A, and of course, I also got a little teaser into the points. I'm not gonna show it just because it is not gonna be shown until it will be posted in this server. But Sean, I'm pretty sure it's glad to see Double A back up.
uh, yeah, it's been a while since we heard about Double A being used, and really when Double A was announced it was going to come on back, it that made things even a bit more spicier because when you get another series sort of running, it's always kind of caused certain things to happen. And
Yeah,
right now, the thing that we're seeing is we're seeing some returns of certain drivers. We're also seeing some new bases. We're even seeing some bases that might be running two series at once.
yeah. I mean, so right here, looking on the stream, of course, I got the results from Daytona right here on the screen, where you see that the 25 Monster has taken the season opener at Daytona. But I'm about to say the race was pretty good when I rewatched it.
It was it was just another one of those classic Daytona races. What can you expect?
Yeah, definitely.
When you think of Daytona, you think of those types of events. It's no doubt. But seeing the season one Double X champion win the first race of the Double A season, it's not a shocker because Monster has been known to do very well. But
Yeah.
think of all the other people that are in this series that he also beat. Let's see here. Gaming Freak, longtime driver at Double X.
Yeah.
Julie was part of some Double X races.
Mhm.
Maddie runs double duty. Josh, same thing. Dale, same thing. Angel, he's double duty as well, but is part of that 10 team that's multi driver.
Yes.
And then you also got Mark, who's double duty as well. But then also all these new faces. Annie Thomas, well, okay, Annie Thomas is a double A veteran,
Mhm.
was part of double A for a while,
Yep.
but decided to stay there. Alvin Bradley, Austin, Bob, Melody, a lot of the people that you're hearing running that double A race, a lot of them are brand new faces. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be making the strides to get far.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm definitely seeing like some of these faces like Colton Rivas, Toru, Jiro, Sophia Woodward, Sam Kane. I definitely think they could have potential if as the season might go forward.
Yeah. And here's the thing, the next race for double A, which will come out soon, for double A is the Atlanta race.
Atlanta, yes.
And here's the thing, we know how Atlanta is.
Yep.
The Atlanta we use is the drafting one, and
Yeah.
it's not the one that has the double like red line or something like that. We basically have an extended track where anything can happen.
Yep. And if any of y'all have watched Double X for a while, of course you may know where we're going with this Atlanta race.
If you've seen Atlanta, you know.
Yep.
If you don't know, you might want to tune in. It is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely. But now I want to kind of dive into a little bit of the teams that we have in Double X. So I think we got quite a diverse roster here, Sean, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, as always, a lot of teams have been showing up here and there, and it's always interesting to see who are who are some new teams and who are some of these. Well, we got all these old veteran teams that have been here since the beginning of the
Yeah.
series.
Mhm. Yeah, like you have like Mark's team. What are some others? Hmm.
Yeah, you got Mark's team, you got Sean Ard Motorsports. Let's see, APR
APR, yeah.
been here for a while. SBM,
Yep. SPM.
they they've been here for a while.
Yep. Because I think if I'm correct, APR and SPM have been running since season 3.
Yeah, and then you got and Mark and Sean or Mothers. They've been here since the start. They've
The
been here since season one, day one, and they've been running for a long time. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of other teams here that kind of joined on in recently,
Mhm.
and
And
you got.
sorry, go ahead.
Here's the thing: it's always interesting with those new teams because let's see, Alliance Racing joined in either last season or a couple of seasons ago.
I think it was
They've
last
been
season that they joined in, or unless that was the
yeah,
season before that.
yeah, they've been they've been running for a while.
Mhm.
Uh, there's always these weird sort of interesting factors about what teams are here to become new and what teams are unfortunately leaving.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had that case back in season 6 where we had a team show for one season then disband. I think that was Bluebird Speeders, which ended up winning the championship that season.
I believe so.
Because that was won by Kiara, who is now driving the 3 for Mark.
Yeah, which that was during a season where it wasn't on YouTube,
Hmm.
but it's kind of interesting to think about certain things. But then again, we had someone win the championship from SBM last season, and they jumped ship.
Yep, they jumped over to Temple Storm to draft the 00. That would be Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe. It kind of always kind of interesting to see something like that. I don't think I've ever seen people jump ship that quickly after winning a title.
Yeah, I definitely didn't accept that either, but, it is largely the driver's choice of what team they want to go with.
Yeah, that is true. That is very much true. And here's the thing: I will say we've gone as far with this season's roster to talk about one team having three drivers drive for one car.
Yeah, and that is Mark's team because they got 3 drivers in that 10 car, that being Phoenix, Angel, and Sinead. I'm about to say, I never really seen something like that before.
That is the first time ever in Double Edge, and when I heard that was an idea, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, like, we've been seeing some consistent runs out of that 10 car. I mean, last time that I think it ran with Angel or Phoenix, they actually finished around the top 10.
In the well, let's look. Yeah, Phoenix drove it last week at Darlington. Got into that top 10. Kind of is keeping that car in contention, and they're right now eighth in the points.
Yeah. So,
That's
yeah.
they are only 38 points behind the the leader in points, and with so much racing still left to go, it is wide open. It's basically open season for maybe that 10.
Yeah. But I definitely will want to discuss some of these top 10 drivers right here. Like, Maddie. I think Maddie's been around since, like, season 4 or something like that.
I believe it is season 4. Maddie been somewhat of a driver that can sometimes bring a little bit of action in, and it's not surprising that Maddie's up there. Only 18 points behind the leader in points, and they somehow have a great opportunity.
Yep. And you also have Kiara, who's your season 6 champion, also running very well.
Yeah, it's proven that last season was just an honest mistake. Maybe it was learning about a new car. Maybe it was some issues that might happen behind the scenes. Either
Mm-hmm.
way, Kiara is now taking this season, turning things around, and is now up here.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Really good turnaround for Kiara. But this is an interesting one. Trey, who I'm pretty sure used to be on a team before. I don't know what team she was on, but I know she went over to Mark's team for this season. Pretty decent
Trey,
redemption story in points wise for Trey.
well, here's the thing, though. As I told you earlier, Trey was one of those drivers who was running up there consistently as the points leader until Pocono happened, and then that changed everything. But I think Trey is not out of the fight yet. It's still a long season left to go. So Trey might have an opportunity to rebound after those mistakes and catch back up. But it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of help.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. But this is an interesting one right here in sixth. We got one of our new drivers right here, basically also called Maddie, but you could tell it's a DY instead of DDI. But this is interesting because she is a new driver coming out of Devs Racing.
Well, Des Racing signed somebody that was very good. It it's not surprising to see maybe some of these new drivers making strides already. People who become new drivers can either do one of two things. Either they don't do anything until a few seasons down the line, or they make strides early and they shock you incredibly well. And really, for Maddie, it's the latter half. Shocking and making strides immediately. Right now, in sixth place in points, gonna be interesting. Maddie could just surprise us even more by making strides to get towards the front of the points.
Yeah, that'll be huge right there, especially big for Devs Racing if that will happen. And then seventh in points, which is one of our season one veterans, of course, being Sean. I gotta
Yeah,
say, Sean's been doing pretty decent for himself.
he's been doing very well. He's the only driver out of his team that's somehow being consistent. The other members of his team not doing that great. But for Sean to be this long into his double-edged career, not not being one of the names that have been like getting the wins or something like that, but just trying to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the difference. And he was the points leader until the whole thing with Canadian Tire happened. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that Sean's still up here. But he is having a bit of a downfall, having a little bit of problems. He's if he keeps this up, if he keeps having these issues, he might not be in the top 10 for much longer. We'll
Mm-hmm.
have to wait and see if that can still keep, if he can try to find that consistency.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we discussed about the 10, so we're going to move on right here to Maddie's sister, Leslie, like the one with the DDI. Just FYI for everybody. But Leslie, pretty surprising to see her up here in the top 10.
It's really consistent, but here's the thing, Maddie is kind of riding on a bit of a high right now,
Yeah.
and it's basically due to just keeping consistency up. Let's kind of think about how last week went
Yeah.
for Leslie. I think Leslie, uh, never mind. I
Let's.
don't think Leslie did that great last week.
Yeah, Leslie finished 22nd, but she was lucky to finish the race.
Yeah, 22nd. Yeah, was one of those drivers that got involved in an incident, but kind of had a little bit of bad step last week. But you know what? Leslie's still been making strides, even for how sometimes inconsistent their team might be. They're somehow trying to stay up front as one of those drivers who wants to compete for the championship. And even though they haven't reached the 300 mark on points, that doesn't count them out yet. I think it still gives them hope.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. And our last car in the top 10 being Des Racing's owner, Des herself. I gotta say, she's been pretty silent throughout the past few seasons, I gotta say.
It's really been the silent one, and still being silent this season. Maybe the silent ones are always the deadliest people. You never know when they might strike. And Dez right now has still been the silent one.
Hmm.
Once Dez can start catching up, though, she might have the one key factor to go for the strike. It could be crucial here, especially with these next four races. If Dez can run very well, who knows? Dez could try to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, she is not that far behind from like reaching the 300 mark along with Leslie, so maybe if she gets a win or something, maybe she'll like establish herself in that fight for the top spot.
Eh, that's always something you got to pay attention of is when people want to strike. I that's all I'm going to say. I think Dez is going to be and could be a wild card in my honest opinion. There are a few wild cards, but Dez is the first major wild card because been silent but could result in getting an opportunity.
Yes, I would agree. And of course, I'll give the chat right here a little look right here at the rest of the points. Of course, you can see there's a lot of names right here that are new. Like of course you got like pretty sure like Susan, uh,
Beta,
Beta, yep, Beta, Melody, V, who else?
Denise, kind of new.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much it. If you have been watching the races in the past seasons,
yeah, because as far as I'm aware, there's not a lot of new drivers just because everyone was just kind of settling in. So like it's
well, maybe Elizabeth's kind of new because first full season.
yeah, because she was part time last season.
Well, only did like one event,
Yeah,
which was the All Star race.
yeah, it was the All Star race. So nothing really much else about like any other drivers, but I think some of the main attention might be on Double A because when we get further down in the season, and of course where points currently stand at right now, right here on the screen, I definitely think we could see like some big moves here.
There are a chance for some big moves, especially when you think of these Nets War races in Double A because they got a tough schedule on their half. You got Atlanta that will come out within the next couple of days. You'll see what happens there.
Yep.
Then the next three races after Indianapolis, Texas World, Watkins Glen.
Mhm.
Major places to cause major shakeups in Double A.
Yeah, I definitely would say that. I mean,
It
with how with these tracks are, it's going to cause some big shakeups if, like, especially we see some of our top guys wreck out.
yeah. So basically, after Atlanta, it is not fun for them. It is basically problem track after problem track after problem track. It is not the most exciting thing to do, but you know what? That's the way this series kind of goes.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know how these guys are going to be, but um, the way how I think everything's going to go with Double A, and especially if more and more drivers start showing up, maybe that'll change.
Well, here's the thing: they're already going to have over 20 cars for the next race,
Yep.
and I won't tell you how much they have all together, but it's gonna be interesting here to see what is going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. I think we do got about a couple more minutes. We have been up on the air right here for 30 minutes. Sean, do we have anything else that we could just talk about Double X?
Well,
All right.
I guess we could talk about the person who did win the last race for double edge pins.
It pins, yeah.
And and here's the thing, I'm gonna say this: pins getting another win. It was incredible to think pins could still be this well competitive,
Mhm.
even with all the issues that have happened so far this season. And you did show the points in double edge.
Yep.
Pins, Pins is starting to try to make those strides again. It's just, could he try to find the consistency?
Yeah, I mean, right now Pins currently 12th in points. He's currently tied with Laura for 11th.
Yeah, it's tight at that point. Laura's someone that's been interesting, but Pins finally getting that win and just proving again the legend still has it.
Yeah, he's Pins has been a double X veteran for quite some time, and I actually think I
He,
remember quite a couple seasons ago, Sean. I think he was actually in competition with Sean for basically the most amount of wins in the league.
well, he's still proving that he still can get the wins. Pins, though, hasn't brought back the consistency to be able to try to get back to that season one mentality. He had a chance to win a title back in season one.
Hmm.
Yes, he had a fair chance last season to maybe try to make the playoffs. It just didn't come into scope
Yeah.
in a sense.
Hmm.
I think he just needs to try to find a way to bring back that consistency. If he try to do that and try to survive the next handful of races, he might be in contention. But again, a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, I definitely would say that. Um, so looking right here, let's go back to the announcements right here. Of course, Braden actually finished second, about 1.5 seconds off from Pins. So I'd say that might be a good point stay for Braden.
It is. It's just right now where he's at in the points. Right now, 20 tied for 25th. It, right now, it's almost kind of seeming like it's not going to be a possibility for Brighton to try to catch up in enough time.
Yeah, I mean, with considering the amount of races that could be left in the season, they are starting to run out of opportunities about where they can try to capitalize on getting more points.
Well, 14 races is a lot of time. That's how much time is left.
Yeah.
But 14 races can go that quickly, and one bad race might just be the final nail in the coffin on your opportunity.
Yeah, so
Right now, the line on having drivers be in the hunt and being out of the hunt is going to soon start becoming a huge difference here. Right now, if we look at the points, I would almost say top 35, top 34. Some of those drivers that haven't hit 220 points are kind of almost those drivers that aren't that might not be in contention.
yeah, so you got guys like V, Jesse, Jordan, Maxie, Denise, Sean Games, Elizabeth, Jeanette, and Annabella. So they might not be in contention for this one.
They might not be in contention to go for a tie, and that stinks for them. But it makes sense that they aren't able to get there. It's just the way the season goes. And as we start trickling down on these races, you're going to see that line move. By basically the net after these four races, who knows? It might be the top 25 or so that might not have a chance. Or, well, from 25th on down, that might not have a chance. You
Hmm.
never know what can happen on any given week.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that is about enough time we got. I mean, there's nothing really else to speak about, but Sean, I'd like to thank you for coming up here to the podcast this afternoon. It was a pleasure working with you here.
And no problem. Hopefully, I'll be back again later on. Hopefully, maybe after the season.
Yeah, as of course with y'all watching here from the YouTube channel, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in as well. But don't stick around actually, and actually don't go anywhere actually, since next week I do plan to do another podcast, but it will be over on the Perez Sports Network channel. I don't know if it's gonna be myself or like someone else gonna be there, but yeah, and of course I do plan to do another Double X podcast with Sean in the near future. We're probably gonna do it after season 8, and maybe if we're lucky, maybe Mark might even join up next time. Like, yeah, might get like some words out of the league owner of Double X. But I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in right here to this podcast. But until then, from Sean Ard, this is Alex Prime tuning out. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.